Political crescendo peaks in the state of Tamil Nadu as Sasikala returns to poll-bound Tamil Nadu after 4 years. Close aide of Jayalalitha expelled from the AIDMK. Sasikala dared the AIDMK with their party flag. Tamil Nadu on tenterhooks. Who is scared of ex-convict Sasikala? The return of Chinnamma. Top focus on To The Point this evening. What does the return of Chinnamma Sasikala mean for Chennai, especially for Chennai politics, which is, or Tamil Nadu politics at that, a state which is standing 2 months away from elections? Will she change the political dynamic of the state, and who's running scared? All of that coming up next. It is the return of Sasikala. After 4 years in jail, close aide of Jayalalitha, Chinnamma, is back in Chennai to claim the legacy of Amma. Her presence has the potential to shake up the politics of a state standing on the cusp of election. Route from Bengaluru to Chennai. Hordes of people greeting Sasikala as she entered Tamil Nadu. Flower petals showered. A sea of support. Drones painting her name in the skies.
I'm repeatedly telling Amma's real cadres and the public of Tamil Nadu, they are waiting her for arrival. That's what I'm telling always. From Bangalore to Chennai, a lot of cadres with Amma's flag on their hand now. What he is going to tell, whether it is ADMK cadres or AMMK cadres.
At the Karnataka-Tamil Nadu border, Sasikala changed her car, got into another SUV, registered under an AIDMK party member with the party flag. If optics are to go by, this was the biggest dare to the Tamil Nadu government with the AIDMK flag. All of this after a circular was issued by Tamil Nadu police warning of action if she uses the party flag. And she did.
BJP wants a united AIADMK ahead of 2020 election.
Now actually united AIADMK,
including Sasikala.
No 100% chances, okay?
Okay. So you are completely opposing Sasikala?
We are completely opposing Sasikala, and Tamil Nadu people also opposing, and no partyman in Tamil Nadu is actually totally the Tamil Nadu partyman also opposing Sasikala.
The AIDMK had filed a complaint against Sasikala for the use of party flag. But now, police cannot act against Sasikala because the car belongs to an AIDMK functionary. Earlier in the day, Sasikala first stopped at the temple after entering Tamil Nadu to take blessings, and she was draped in the colors of the AIDMK, red, black and white. Optics again. Chinnamma was accompanied by her nephew TTV Dinakaran, was welcomed at 56 different locations in Tamil Nadu. She began her journey to Chennai after paying a floral tribute to Jayalalitha, a clear indication that she is going to lay claim to Amma's legacy. From Chinnamma, small Amma, to Amma herself. Is this the aim behind Sasikala's Chennai story? And if it is, who should be scared? Top story, Bureau Report, India Today. All right, so she's still on her way from Bengaluru to Chennai. It'll take her another 2 or 3 hours, is what we are told, to actually reach Chennai, where a grand welcome is in store for her. But on her way, just about 20 minutes ago, Sasikala spoke once again to the media, sending out a warning to the AIDMK before she enters Chennai. Quoting an MGR song, Chinnamma declared that Amma's party will rise like the phoenix and that she will not bow down before oppression. Listen in.
என்னை பார்க்க ஆவலோடு காத்திருந்தனர். பார்க்க ஆவலோடு காத்திருந்தனர். அந்த இன்று நடந்தது கண்டு மகிழ்ச்சி, தொண்டர்களுக்கும் மகிழ்ச்சி. நிச்சயமாக தொண்டர்களுக்காக நான் ஈடுபட்டேன். அது அவர்களோட பயத்தை காட்டுகிறது என்றுதான் நான் நினைக்கிறேன். சரி, இதையெல்லாம் எதை காட்டுகிறது என்பது தமிழக மக்களுக்கு நன்றாகவே தெரியும். அதாவது நான் மிக விரைவில் உங்களை எல்லாரையும் சந்திக்கிறேன். சந்திக்கும் போது விரிவாக பேசுகிறேன்.
All right, so what are the options that are left for Sasikala Chinnamma with what she says to rise like the phoenix? Well, multiple options. She can campaign against the AIDMK, which she seemingly is right now. She can campaign for the AMMK, which is TTV Dinakaran's party, but that's pretty much running thin in terms of crowd support. Or one option is that she just bides her time, wait it out. Let's see what happens in this election and then tries to divide the AIDMK. Lots of options out there. We're going to cut across to our guests. I have Muralidharan S, AIDMK supporter. I'll be joined very shortly by T.S. Sudhir, senior journalist. My colleague Priyam Vada will also be joining us in just about a while. Mr. Muralidharan, shouldn't EPS be a little scared with the kind of optics that we have seen, especially in what he's done after the announcement was made? It suggests that there is a sense of discomfort, grave discomfort, that Sasikala is coming back to Chennai.
Yeah, I think it's known. No point saying no. Everything is hunky-dory. Yes, because see, it's a very tight election we are fighting, and the difference between ADMK Supremo, Mr. Edappadi, and Mr. Stalin is just 5% popularity-wise. Okay, that's the most positive thing which has happened over the last 1 year of good governance of Edappadi. Now, having said that, every vote matters at this point of time. So she can become a party pooper, so that's expected. But knowing if at all she cares for the party and if she respects, and she made a statement also today that we want to fight the common enemy, keeping all that, taking all that into account, and with maturity, if she steps aside, I think ADMK has a good chance. Otherwise, she can spoil the, whatever.
Okay. All right, let's cut across to our other guests. I have T.S. Sudhir and Priyam Vada. Before I go to you, Sudhir, I want to cut across to Priyam Vada. Priyam Vada, would you get us a perspective in terms of where exactly is she positioned right now? She was to reach Chennai by 8 p.m., but it does seem the speed of her vehicle and the kind of stops that she's making, it's not going to happen before 11 p.m. And what's expected there?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of welcome she's been receiving in each and every district. And that's exactly what the AMK, TTV Dinakaran's party, and of course, Shashikala wanted. So they have been stopping at various points. Right now, she's crossing Vellore, so which means it might take another 4 hours for her to reach Chennai. And in Chennai also, she has to be covering 7 points. And first, she will be visiting the residence of M.G. Ramachandran, the founder of AIDMK. That also sends a cross message saying that I'm able to visit the residence of M.G. Ramachandran, because we know his family right now, that is his family members are right now supporting Shashikala. So that's kind of a message, because we know that there is a legacy war for who will take over after M.G. Ramachandran, who is going to be the next MGR, because every politician is claiming credit or wants to take over MGR legacy. So that is the point that Shashikala will be making. And of course, this entry itself, today's entire event, all the eyes were on Shashikala. And tomorrow, interestingly, Edappadi Palaniswamy will also be campaigning at Vellore and those regions where Shashikala today, more number of cadres gathered for Shashikala today at those points where EPS was supposed to be campaigning.
Priyam Vada, stay with me. Let's just go to the ground. Gopi, our colleague, is tracking right now this leg of Sasikala's journey back to Chennai from Bengaluru. Gopi, if you can hear me, what have you seen till now? Where exactly has a cavalcade reached? By when can we expect it to go into Chennai?
Well, Preeti, the cavalcade is in fact taking hours and hours to reach Chennai. To be more specific, we have not even reached Vellore, because the cavalcade has just a few minutes back reached a point which is some 40 kilometers from Vellore. So we have come a little ahead of the cavalcade, and we are still anticipating that they might come into our frame anytime shortly. So to give you an overall idea of the things that was unwinding over the day today morning, after this cavalcade reached Tamil Nadu, after it crossed the Hosur border, we could actually see that there was a greeting or a celebration or a reception which was given to Shashikala at every single point. To be most precise, even at spaces like every 5 kilometers, there would be people gathering and they would be receiving Shashikala, they would be greeting Shashikala, they would be celebrating. And something most significant was the way these people were celebrating. It was actually certainly a huge show of strength by the party cadres, if I can say correctly, because at every single place there would be some art forms which are being done. There would be some music celebrations. There would be some drums which are beating, and there could be all sorts of celebration all throughout the way. Because we have now just come some 20 kilometers from the first point where Shashikala has crossed a little while back, and between the point where we are standing and from the point where we last saw her, there were at least 3 or 4 points where people were waiting anxiously to receive Shashikala. And more importantly, all these people have been waiting at various locations since the morning, because the initial plan and assumption of the people was that after she leaves from Bengaluru, she might reach Chennai anytime in the afternoon. That was the initial assessment, and these people were gathering here from the very morning at around 10:30, 11. These people were here on the roadsides. They were all doing these their art forms and rituals and all those things.
Right.
But unfortunately, because of these receptions at every single point, the cavalcade is being slowed down, and I believe no, it's actually taken a little more longer, is what I'm assuming. But certainly, it will take another 2 to 3 hours to reach minimum
Okay.
2 to 3 hours to reach Chennai if this is the way they are going to continue.
All right, so any time between 10 p.m. to midnight is when this cavalcade will pull into Chennai. Grand reception, I believe, there. Appreciate you joining us, Gopi, for that quick update. I want to go to T.S. Sudhir right now. Mr. Sudhir, how does Shashikala being back in Chennai right now, with all these optics at play, with at least what you can see that she wants to claim Amma's legacy, how does that change the lot of Tamil Nadu politics 2 months away from election?
Well, quite a lot. If you recall, Preeti, 4 years ago when she went to Bengaluru Central Prison after she went to Jayalalitha Memorial, she drove. It was almost an ignominy that she drove from Chennai to Bengaluru. Now she really wants to make the Garbhapsi count, and the optics are there for everyone to see. A lot of it is also being performed for the cameras, knowing fully well that elections are due in Tamil Nadu 2.5 months from now. So they do want to make Shashikala's return to Tamil Nadu, return to Chennai, count in terms of optics, and TT Dinakaran obviously wants to take full political advantage of that positioning of Shashikala vis-a-vis the AIADMK. I see this entire thing almost akin to a hostile takeover being attempted, so to say, by Shashikala of the AIADMK, and the manner in which the AIADMK has reacted in the past 1 week. Senior leaders of the AIADMK, including ministers in the government, going and complaining to the DGP about the use of the AIADMK flag on Shashikala's vehicle, shutting down of the Jayalalitha Memorial, almost seems to convey that they are really paranoid and nervous about Shashikala's re-entry into the Tamil Nadu political theatre. And they really do not know how much of support she could possibly garner. Tomorrow, as I use the word hostile takeover, if there were senior leaders, some district secretaries, some MLAs, hypothetically speaking, making a beeline and going and meeting Shashikala, that would really set the cat among the pigeons. Because remember, Shashikala has worked with many of them. She knows the AIADMK's DNA and the way of functioning pretty well. She has seen Jayalalitha's style of functioning, political functioning up close. So she understands the dynamics of the AIADMK. So the AIADMK can definitely not underestimate what Shashikala can possibly do, especially when it comes 2.5 months before the elections.
All right, I'll bring in, Mr. Sudhir, I'll bring in Mr. Muralidharan back into this conversation. And taking off from what Mr. T.S. Sudhir was saying, Mr. Muralidharan, I don't think we're going to really get ahead of ourselves if we are going to debate that this could actually lead to a split where the AIADMK is concerned. Would you agree?
I will not agree, because I think people are not that stupid to split a party because just she's come back. And she's not a freedom fighter. She's just coming back from, for whatever form of prison verdict. She's not Mother Teresa. She's been living with Amma, so she can't just claim, I want to become chief minister because I was living 30 years with Jayalalitha. If that's the case, Jayalalitha would have brought her in much longer, just like how Mr. MGR brought her into politics and groomed her into taking over the mandate from her, but that did not happen. So people know very clearly it's just the money at play, and it's absolute abuse of money is what you're seeing now. They keep doing this, when you throw money in there, you get crowd in Tamil Nadu.
So who keeps doing this? Because the AIDMK in itself, where Mr. DPS is concerned, has been accused of the same. But having said that, are you actually telling us, Mr. Muralidharan, that the current incumbent Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, who was made the Chief Minister because of Sasikala Chinnamma, is going to be absolutely okay with all these optics and her rolling in? There's absolutely no problem.
Absolutely no problem. I think he's done. See, he has learned the hard way. When it was put on his head, we didn't have any experience. But if you see the last 1 year, this 1 year has made a lot of changes. He has proved to be a good governor. Countering one is pandemic, next is bringing in foreign investment, and handling the entire show without much of law and order.
But Mr. Muralidharan, okay, the fact is, you say that she's not the rightful heir of Jayalalitha, otherwise Jayalalitha would have dragged her into politics. Who got EPS, the Chief Minister's chair, sir?
Yeah,
no, I'm asking you, it's a question. Who made EPS the Chief Minister?
I'll give you an analogy, right? When Virat Kohli had to return home, Ajinkya Rahane was made captain. Didn't he perform better than Virat Kohli? Even today, there is even looking at this current test, that's the status. So Edappadi on the ground, in the field, when he was, entrusted with a portfolio, with a job, he has delivered. So that's what counts.
Euphemisms and analogies really don't work when politics comes into play. But okay, you've made your point. Let me also cut across back to Mr. T.S. Sudhir and Priyambada for a quick word in. Mr. Sudhir, what do you reckon? What would be the options right now in front of Ms. Sasikala going ahead?
Well, I think our friend Muralidharan should not kind of make the comparison with Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane, because once Virat Kohli came back, he got his job back. Shashikala has not been given any job by Edappadi Palaniswamy and company. Also, if the AIDMK says that she is persona non grata, as far as the AIDMK is concerned, that Jayalalitha never gave any importance while she was around, the question essentially is that why did the present Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy fall at Shashikala's feet before he was anointed Chief Minister in the month of February 2017? There are a number of pictures of prominent AIDMK leaders falling at Shashikala's feet, calling her Chinnamma. So there is a past history, there is a past relationship that many of these leaders of the AIDMK, the ruling dispensation, have had with Shashikala in the past. I'm not saying that things are going to change dramatically now that she has come out of prison. People are also going to be in the wait and watch mode. They have an election coming up, and most likely Shashikala herself would prefer to wait for the election results before she makes her big move. Because if she makes her move now, in that case, and the AIDMK does not do as well as it expects to do, the entire blame could fall on Shashikala. So she would make her moves very quietly and without any kind of urgency as far as the Tamil Nadu chessboard is concerned.
All right, Mr. Sudhir, I want to get in a last word from my colleague Priyambada as well. Priyambada, at the base of this conversation, would you reckon that Sasikala will go for the kill and at one end maybe split EPS and OPS, which looks plausible? Or with what T.S. Sudhir is saying, wait and watch. It's not that AIDMK is riding a wave of popularity right now where Tamil Nadu is concerned. Watch how this election goes and maybe after that come back and work her way through AIDMK?
Well, I totally agree with TSS when he says that Shashikala will wait and make her move after the elections. Because right now, the information I'm getting, none of the ADMK MLAs have got in touch with Shashikala. Something that she was expecting at least 2 days back when I was interacting with various sources in her camp. That has not happened. But you do see cadre level strength. You do see what councillors and ADMK party functionaries coming and giving her this grand welcome. It's not just AMK members who have come out there. It's also about the ADMK members who have come. But that's not enough. You need MLAs backing to go stand in contest in elections and make it big. So as of now, ADMK MLAs are very much with EPS, OPS. That much we do see. So she might wait. But whatever crowd that she has displayed today, it's all about splitting of votes, which is not looking good for ADMK. Already AMK on its own strength with TTV Dinakaran was managed to get at least 5.7 to 6% vote during the local body elections. Now with Shashikala coming and campaigning, so imagine the Delta belt, especially the southern belt, especially, which is more concentrated and have been voting based on caste. What if they move towards AMK? That's going to be disadvantage ADMK, and that's going to be advantage DMK.
All right, appreciate you all for joining us. It remains to be seen how this pans out. But if optics are to go by, these optics that played out today would have definitely made the AIDMK squirm, especially one certain Mr. EPS. We're going to keep a keen eye. Will Sasikala chart her course through Jayalalitha's legacy clearly from Chinnamma to Amma? Time will tell. Will it happen soon enough is the big question. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you. Up next is Rahul Kanwal.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.